our story. Yeah. First of all, I want to say that when the shows were started, I think the idea was that it was a solo show. Is that correct?
You can do whatever you want.
But then Davey Allen did a show last month, and he brought someone, so I brought a friend today. This is Andy.
Hi, Andy. Nice to meet you.
Davey didn't have permission either.
Davey didn't have permission either. But, and also, if you came to Davey's show, he talked a lot about pot. And so I'm not going to talk about pot because I think the smell is like good enough for us here today. And so I'm just going to run a little video as we're talking here. And so to kind of pick up where the story left off, I moved here in 1985 after being in an all-girl rock band called French Dip. Excuse my language. And it was quite something. I mean, moving to LA, and luckily I didn't have to wear those outfits anymore. And I met up with Andy, who'd been in Badge. That was his band, and that's Sylvia and Jenny, and we were in French Dip together. And so I had lots of different hairstyles as we went along. What?
Were you gonna get the platinum one?
I didn't put the platinum one in. It was too frightening. We formed a band called Street Life, and that was after. What we wanted to do was, I think we're just going to keep that lovely picture up there for now. We decided that we wanted to come to LA and have an all-girl band again. So we thought, that the Go-Go's were big then. So Sylvia and I moved here, and and Jenny, our drummer, was also from Torrance. Sylvia was from Redondo, and we tried to find girls to play with. So we had all different kinds of auditions and things we auditioned for, and people who auditioned for us. If you know Stephanie Trammer, her sister is an electric guitar player, Wendy Wonder. That was her stage name, and she came, and we used Andy as our girl. Token girl, because we needed a keyboard player. So Andy was our token male female, and so what happened was we had all sorts of really weird experiences. So we answered this ad in the paper, and there was this band called Passion Play. So from French Dip to Passion Play, right? It's going to be good. So this band was based out of kind of the Crenshaw district, and me and Jenny and Sylvia went, and they had a studio and everything, but Sylvia thinks the music we were making was going to put behind porn films. I don't really know if that's true or not. And then one time they wanted us to go see somebody in the band, her band she was in, and it was somewhere in South Central, and we went in. It was the three of us, and we were the only Caucasians in the place, which was fine, except at some point there was a shooting. This girl saw her boyfriend there with another woman, and she went home and she got a gun, and she was just like, she shot it in the air, but as soon as the shots rang out, everybody hit the deck. And so we didn't really think that was probably the band for us. And we were in a band with a woman who was from Poland, and she had a song called Polyester Heart. Do you remember her? Yeah. So we had all sorts of stuff. So what sort of eventually happened was we kind of abandoned the all-girl idea, and Andy had met a guy named Mike Neal, who was nicknamed the Chipster, an electric guitar player, and so the five of us created our band called Street Life, and we did kind of all covers, right, for everything. And I actually, in my looking for things, found Street Life song list. This is 1.5 pages long. I think it's padded though. I think the actual one is 1 page.
Parties
Yeah,
by John
yeah.
Mitchell and
So we played, like the Lighthouse. We played. Does anybody remember Pier 52?
Yeah.
Poncho and Wong.
At Pier 50. Oh, maybe you saw us. No, probably not. But yeah, so we played all those places. One gig we had a gig on St. Patrick's Day that went from 2 in the afternoon until 2 in the morning. And we had 1 hour break at 6 for dinner, but then it was just like, 15-minute break. So it was a lot, is what it was. Wow.
Somebody, she leaned
Oh,
on
it
it.
was? Okay.
She leaned
All right,
on
all
it.
right. So I'll just run these. So anyway, we played a lot of songs, and that's when we met Debbie. We wanted to have an all-girl band, so I got to go back because this is kind of fun.
Yeah, because
So we
somebody
want-
has your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody has your head.
Yeah, I know. So I created an all-girl band by putting a I can't do it. Anyway, I put
Get ready to pause.
So I basically just put we made the guys into girls. Didn't really work. Yeah. So we had our first gig that actually when Andy and I moved here, our first gig was with the Chipster. That's Mike Neal and our drummer Lawrence, who is the guy actually on the bottom there. And it was in Malibu. And it was at a party in Malibu, and they had covered the tennis court. Do you remember this? And we'd been here a very short period of time, and it was a casino night, and there was the band, and then there were female impersonators. And so it was like us and the female impersonators, and I had never hung out with a bunch of female impersonators, and one of the guys, he was talking about how, he had to get home to his wife and kids and stuff. It was just so great. I'm like, well, we are in LA, and that became even more pointed when we're playing our songs, and all of a sudden I see this guy on the dance floor, which is the tennis court, and he's got a bathrobe on, and it was Brian Wilson. Well, we are here. So the Chipster was our guitar player, and he was a really interesting guy, and he was a good guitar player. And his nickname was the Chipster, which was good Mike, and bad Mike was Chip because he had a chip on his shoulder. And he did this thing called chipsterizing you. That's if you made a mistake, he cut you into his glass. And he was a really good guitar player, but he liked to sing songs that were kind of out of his range. And our friend Teresa said that she had the best line. I never realized what a good guitar player the Chipster was till I heard him sing. Which was a little harsh. But one of his favorite bands was Crowded House. And he liked the song "Don't Dream It's Over," and he'd go, "Don't dream it's over." And it wasn't the best, and it seemed like in those days I was the one who always had to talk to people to bring them off the ledge. But Renee, you're good at talking to people. Could you get him to not do that anymore? Which always resulted in me getting yelled at and crying. So maybe actually I'm not that good at that. So we've never played this song before, and one of the things about doing these shows is I've said this term like 6 times in the last day. Throw your hat over the fence, you have to go get it kind of thing. So I hope you guys will bear with us. We're going to throw a song right here that we've never done before. So this is a song, it's for some reason it just came into my head the other day as sort of a reminder of the partitions that divide us and the walls that we don't have to build. It's called Don't Dream It's Over. Wait a minute, don't start yet. Wait 1 second.
Dream it's beginning.
Yeah, now you can start it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's a freedom within, there's a freedom without. Try to catch the deluge in a paper cup. There's a battle ahead, many battles are lost, but you'll never see the end of the road while you're traveling with me. Hey now, don't dream falling again to the beat of a drum, and I'm counting the steps of the door to your heart. Only shadows ahead through the door of your heart. Get to know the feeling of liberation and relief. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. You know that they won't win. Don't it's over. Don't dream it's over. Don't dream it's over.
Yeah, that was terrific. And I can't believe that song's not called Hey Now. That's what I thought for 30 years. Thank you. You learn something at these shows.
Maddie, can we turn? Nobody move. Can we open the door? It's 8 million degrees.
Yeah, we could turn that on, but it may be too, yeah, open the door and
Yeah,
open,
that might be good. Yeah, what
Mike,
do you guys think?
open this one. Open the door. Right, open the door. Yeah, open the door, that's fine. No, we don't have neighbors. Go ahead, open the door.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah.
All right, so we played with Street Life, and that was fun. We did a lot of different gigs. We had fun. There's Andy having fun with Sylvia. And I met a guy named Warren Haskell who was a jazz guitarist. And I met him through my friend Lisa Welsh, and she actually moved away, and she had this part-time job, and she had this guy she played music with. And so I took her life when she left. I got her part-time job. And I got her guitarist. I had done a lot of what are called casuals, which is like you kind of bring your charts and you come to this kind of thrown together band, and everybody can read charts, so you just kind of do a gig. And it was a lot of weddings and were like that back in the day. And when I did them in Denver, they were really